Hey flower friends, welcome to the Rebellious Garden. My name is Laura and I'm so glad you're here today. Today I'm going to show you how I plant my sweet peas. We are going to come out this door, and it was raining last night, so I'm going to take it easy and not try to bust my booty. So I typically plant my sweet peas in the fall. They are a cool weather loving flower. They overwinter really well. The seedlings do. They overwinter really well. Where we are, zone AA in eastern North Carolina. However, I failed to do so, but it's okay because we have mild winters here in eastern North Carolina, so I can go ahead and plant these and we shouldn't have any issues. So when it comes to planting sweet peas, you don't want to crowd them. You don't want to have any other plants planted around them. They don't like sharing. They like highly nutritious soil, and they like cooler weather. Typically by late May, early June, my sweet peas quit producing because it is just simply too hot. We're a lot of times here in eastern North Carolina in the mid 80s at that point regularly, so they don't care for that. But during the spring, they give me the most beautiful branching stems. I love to use the greenery. I love to use the flowers. They have the most intoxicating smell. So it just makes for a beautiful spring bouquet. One thing you have to know about sweet peas is they're highly toxic in seed form and in plant form. So you don't want your kids to nibble on them. You don't want pets to nibble on them. It might make them sick. Could even be fatal. So we don't want that. We don't want that. But my number one tip, before you plant out your sweet pea flower seeds, say that 10 times fast, you want to soak them. So I put my seeds in a jar of lukewarm water, room temperature, whatever you want to call it, at night before I go to bed. See, just a regular old mason jar, and I drop my seeds in there. And it is the next day, it is close to 5 o'clock, and they have been soaking for just shy of 24 hours, and they are ready to be planted out. It kind of helps plump them up, give them a little bit of moisture, and it even kind of cracks that outer shell. I don't know if you see like the little white and yellow specks on the seeds, but it kind of gives that seedling a little start, if you will. So I'm going to show you how I plant them. So sweet peas, like I said, love fertile soil. They love moist soil, and they don't like to compete with other plants. Another thing about sweet peas is they like to climb because they are a vining plant. So you want to have some sort of trellis next to where you plant so the peas will have an area to grow up on. Right here, I'm just breaking up this soil. I laid down some fresh compost and garden soil in here before we got freezing weather. And because of the 60s and 70s we've had the past few days, the soil is pretty soft and de-thawed, so it won't be an issue. What I do not, I'm kind of rebellious, hence the name, when it comes to my planting methods. So proper planting method is spacing them about 6 to 8 inches apart each seed. You want to space 6 to 8 inches apart. I just sprinkle mine along. The thing is, the roots don't like to be disturbed, so once you plant them, you don't want to move them. That's why I don't start these inside in seed trays. You can, but you've got to have really deep seed trays, and I don't plant in that way, so I just soak them in a jar and plant them out, and I just sprinkle them along. And if I see that they're getting a little too thick when they're growing in, then I'll thin them out. But there's your peas, and I just kind of sprinkle them on. And if I see some that are just too close to one another, I'll do my best to kind of thin them out a little bit. I am taking a bit of a risk, I will say, planting them out right now, because these can take some freezing temperatures, but you don't want them not blooming, but growing and it's freezing regularly. So if we get back into the freezing temps regularly, I'll give them a good cover. I'm just going to tap this dirt down. I just sprinkled them in there. Tap the dirt down. I'll give it a good water, and that's it. That's how I plant my sweet peas. Definitely, probably in about 2 months, you'll really see a lot of greenery and growth from these plants. at least here in my garden. So I'll definitely show you that when they start growing. But I'm gonna go plant the rest of my seeds. It feels so good to have dirt on my hands again. It's just, I don't know, it just makes me feel better. It's like in the 50s outside right now. The sun's getting ready to start setting. It feels good out here. Definitely getting past those dark days of winter. So yay. So you saw how simple it is to plant sweet peas. It just takes a little bit of planning ahead, soaking your seeds overnight, pretty hands-off process, and then you just stick them in the ground the next day, lightly bury them with some soil, give them some water, and then just wait. I water them every so often if we don't get rain, about once a week, but I don't keep them soaking wet, just enough that they're happy. But yeah, in probably about 2 months, I'll have plenty of greenery, and probably about 2.5 months, we'll start seeing a few little blooms because our temps will be regularly on the springy warm side, if you will. I did mention earlier about how I was kind of being risky planting them out. We're at the beginning of February and we have those freezing temps potentially coming back. I only planted out about half of my seeds today. The other half I'm gonna wait until the end of February to plant out, and I know those will be perfectly fine. But yeah, so that's how I plant my sweet peas. I can't wait to show you the beautiful bouquets that I make with them here in just a few very short weeks. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a blessed day. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, check out our social media, and come back to see me again.